Author Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. And those areas are where the councilwoman tells me the focus will be. For right now, this is only in the discussion stage. Watkins Brown says extending the agency's scope will bring more attention to what she describes as blight in economic development to help meet the basic needs for people who live in the area.
Closer to the Dunbar community, we don't have all of the amenities like actual grocery store or a pharmacy or in that type of thing. So we feel that if we could spew some kind of development, that these type of things will begin to come in that area.
These talks are happening as the Housing Authority is getting closer to a crucial step in the Greater Dunbar Initiative. The Housing Authority tells me this is the city's biggest project, and once that is complete, they are hoping for better housing in Dunbar as well as hopeful of a grocery store. Now, if you want to read the full breakdown of that project, make sure you visit that story right now on fox4now.com. From downtown Fort Myers, Brianna Brownlee, Fox 4.
I'm Mahmoud Bennett with Fox 4 News, and right now I'm in Immokalee at the site of what could soon be a massive affordable housing complex. Collier County recently approved a $40+ million initiative that would bring this largely farming community dozens of affordable homes.
Located at the northeast corner of West Clock Street and Carson Road, this empty plot of land, about 40 miles from Naples, is the site of the proposed 50-acre housing community. It's a joint effort with the Pulte Family Charitable Foundation. They want to create 179 single-family homes to rent out to people in the area. Jeffrey Bookstein is the vice president of the foundation and says their vision is about more than just giving people a place to live.
We want to be able to provide a community with what we're calling wraparound services. So in essence, it's a blanket for everything: housing, financial literacy, budgeting, all these different components.
Now, the groups behind this new affordable housing initiative say you can expect groundbreaking to take place late next year. In Collier County, Mahmoud Bennett, Fox 4 News.
Charlotte County is bracing for a big economic driver this weekend, the Florida International Air Show. I'll explain what kind of tourism we can see and how it'll impact the county.
For people fighting redevelopment plans for this Cape Coral Park, they say a concert that's being held here tomorrow is everything they stand against. Coming up, you'll hear exactly why that is.
John Farrell made me feel like I was family.
It was like working with my brother.
I felt they were fighting for me. What more can you ask for in a lawyer that someone's fighting for you?
They're like family, you can trust them.
Just felt like I was a person. They actually wanted to help me.
That's just a glimpse of the heart-pounding Air Force Thunderbirds practicing on Wednesday for this weekend's Florida International Air Show. Denise Dole, the air show president, says it brings in people from all over.
We have ticket sales from as far west as Nevada and California, other countries.
And more people means more money for the area.
Post-Ian, we need that kind of income in the community.
Money coming in through tourism dollars as people stay at hotels like the Four Points, where Director of Marketing Kelly Williamson says they are sold out this weekend between the air show crews and people coming to watch.
It's a very significant air show considering the size of town and, county that we're in.
She's also on the county tourism board and says the visitor spending will go towards reserves and getting the name Punta Gorda out there.
It's much needed. We can market to a broader, even international base, which what we're doing now.
Now, this air show brings in a lot of money. The president tells me that the last air show in 2021 brought in $5 million. And this year, they're projected to bring in about $10 million for Charlotte County.
It really does bring a strong impact to the area, not just for the hotels, but for everyone.
Like the restaurants.
I've spoken to more people this year who says, what time's the show over? Because I need to go make dinner reservation.
Bringing in even more money to an area Dole and Williamson hope people will come back to, even after the air show.
It's going to be an amazing show. It's the other things around town that keep them here.
Reporting in Punta Gorda, Caitlin Knapp, Fox 4.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. I'm getting things queued up here in the Weather Center as we are looking at a day that is going to be much cooler here. And you can see the view here. It is absolutely gorgeous when you step outside. Fair warning, though, you're going to need a light jacket this morning. That wind is picking up. It is going to be gusting in the mid-20s today, but we are under clear skies as we do expect our temperatures to stay below our average here. Nice cool change after we wrapped up October on a warm streak, reaching the upper 80s there Monday and Tuesday. Yesterday, we officially hit 82 degrees. Now this morning, we are waking up in the upper 50s all the way through Lee County. We even got some mid-50s there for Lehigh Acres and Palmdale. Now towards the lake, we're 60 in Moorhaven, 62 in Clewiston. And this is a drop by about 10 degrees across the board. Arcadia all the way through Sanibel, you can see that 11 to 10 degree drop. Humidity is down, and with that wind, it is going to feel a little chilly. Dew point values upper 40s right now for DeSoto County. What that means, it's cool, it's crisp, and it feels like fall. Anytime we get that number that low this time of year, we love it. And you can see the forecast highs for today with sunshine will rebound in the low 80s, but that breeze is going to make it feel a little cooler as well. And later on tonight, we'll dip back into the 60s. Not quite as cool tonight. Today, definitely the coolest morning here of the 7-day. Now, where we should be on average, 84 and 65, so we're running below that, especially overnight tonight. Record high. Once again, last year, 92 degrees, record low back in 2014, not that long ago, in the upper 40s. So let's get you over to the radar where we are looking at a dry start. We have some showers down in the Florida Keys, and that's that moisture being picked up on that brisk northeasterly breeze, which is going to continue with us all day long and all night. By the time we get towards the start of the weekend, winds will start to relax late Saturday into Sunday, but do expect breezy conditions to last. Currently, our winds are near 15. 14 sustained both in Fort Myers and down in Marco Island, and you can see those gusts. Right now 20 down in Naples, and this wind is just going to continue throughout the afternoon. You look at the numbers here. Once the sun comes up, those sustained winds pick up in the upper teens there to 20, and the gusts are going to start to approach 30 miles per hour as we get towards lunchtime. So we'll call it a windy afternoon for sure, and it's all thanks to this ridge of high pressure that's built in behind this cold front, and it's going to keep our winds rolling out of the northeast. And anytime we get a northeasterly flow, it starts to slowly warm our temperatures up. So by the time we get towards Friday, we'll be back near average, and over the weekend we'll get into the mid, if not upper 80s there Saturday and Sunday as that moisture stays just to our south. You see a little more cloud cover there in the southern parts of Miami-Dade through the Florida Keys. Breezy, sunny, and dry. That's what we look here as we go through the rest of the work week into the weekend. We'll see those winds relax on Sunday as we stay warm through the mid parts of next week.
All right, Trent, I want to take everyone outside for a quick check of traffic. Right now, this is going to be Country Club Boulevard at Nicholas Parkway. Not tracking any issues here, at least as the school buses have passed on by from the live look. They have a smooth commute. But if you're headed maybe closer to the downtown Fort Myers area, going to be a different story. That's because we are tracking our first crash of the morning. This is going to be Jackson Street near South Street. This is right off of US 41. There is no roadblock associated with this crash, and I'm not tracking any major delays and no residual delays right along US 41. Always a great way to gauge how the morning commute is shaping up going to be the Lee County bridge times, and right now they are completely in the green. So we have the Cape Coral Bridge from Del Prado to McGregor, so that's Cape Coral into Fort Myers. That stretch going to take you 3 minutes. The same stretch on the Midpoint Bridge, again, if you're Cape Coral into Fort Myers, going to take you about 3 minutes, but the fastest definitely going to be the US 41 bridge.
For months, we've been reporting on the controversial redevelopment plans that the city of Cape Coral has for here at JC Park. I'm Colton Chavez, and what we're focusing on in this report is the fact that people say they don't want alcohol or concerts to be involved in those redevelopment plans. So when word broke out that the city of Cape Coral plans to host a concert here that allows people to bring their own alcohol, it was a conversation that seemed to follow me no matter what part of the park I went to.
For months, people who make these signs that say Save JC Park have been protesting the city's redevelopment plans for the park that includes a band shell for concerts and a restaurant bistro that could serve alcohol. As controversy has continued to swirl around this proposed project, news that the city was hosting a concert that would allow people to BYOB, or bring your own booze, people like Kathy Lopez and Pat Moran tell me the event is everything they stand against.
We're trying to keep alcohol out and commercialization out.
You can't come in here and change the serenity. This park is supposed to be exactly what it's giving us.
A spokesperson for the city of Cape Coral tells me the city's been hosting its Concert in the Park series at JC Park for the past 6 years, and posted on the park's rules, it does say the city is allowed to change those rules if approved by the park's director. The concert at JC Park starts at 5:30 and runs until 8 p.m. Reporting from JC Park, Colton Chavez, Fox 4.
President Joe Biden says he thinks there should be a humanitarian pause in the Israel-Hamas war. He made the comments Wednesday when responding to a protester at a re-election fundraiser in Minnesota. The president says the pause is needed to allow more time for prisoners to get out. Terrorists are currently holding more than 200 people hostage in Gaza. Last week, the White House also said there needs to be a pause so food, water, and medicine can reach Palestinians in need. Representative George Santos will get to keep his seat in Congress after surviving an expulsion vote. Most Republicans and more than 30 Democrats voted against kicking him out of the House. Santos is accused of lying to Congress, fabricating his life story, and stealing from donors. The House Ethics Committee is investigating the allegations and will announce next steps in the probe over the next week. The Texas Rangers are now the World Series champs. They won the Fall Classic for the first time after beating the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-0 in Game 5. The game was scoreless through 6 innings, but the Rangers ultimately won after scoring in the 7th and the 9th. Texas shortstop Corey Seager took home the World Series MVP award.
Now from Southwest Florida, this is Fox 4 Morning News.
And good morning. If you haven't stepped outside, it's nice out there. What a change we saw behind the cold front that moved through yesterday. It is not only in the mid to upper 50s across a large section of the area, but it is breezy. Definitely recommending that light jacket here this morning, as the wind is going to be with us all day long. You'll need something to break it a little bit, as it'll be gusting in the mid, if not upper 20s later on today. As far as rain on this Thursday morning commute, nothing to worry about. All the rain is locked down in the southern parts of Miami-Dade County and over the straits. That's where there's enough moisture being picked up by that breeze to support some showers. So as we go throughout the afternoon, northeast wind, a few passing clouds. Eventually our temperatures will be up in the low 80s today, as we are looking at a day that will get there, but it's going to feel so much cooler because it's crisp and it's also going to be windy. Now, as far as our current temperatures, 56 Lehigh Acres, 58 from Arcadia, all the way down through the Cape where we've got upper 50s. Collier County, the only location hanging on to 60s. Wind near 15 already this morning, and again, it's going to be gusting here throughout the day. We'll let you know how long this wind's going to stick around coming up in just a bit, Lauren.
All right, Trent, so let's take everyone outside. This is I-75 near mile marker 132, so close to the Daniels Parkway exit. We see a lot of headlights, but at least we're not seeing any brake lights in the opposite direction or even in these lanes. That's because we're not tracking any crashes. We just have a smooth commute. Now, when you take a look at our highway drive times, things are moving pretty smoothly for most of them. So let's switch on over to maps, and we can take a look at I-75 moving on average at 77 miles per hour. US 41, 50, but it's Colonial, State Road 82 already in the yellow. That's because we're starting to see that typical morning congestion. We also have our first crash of the morning just south of the downtown Fort Myers area. This crash is going to be Jackson Street near South Street. One lane is blocked off, so we do have some delays in that area, but not any major delays. And I'm not seeing any residual delays, at least along some of the other major roadways that are surrounding that intersection.
I'm Fox 4's Dominga Murray here at the Everglades Gardens in Bonita Springs. Now its board and city council members are meeting to discuss if the gardens will stay or go after 9 decades.
The gardens have been a history of Bonita.
It's a space important to many in the city, serving the community with a small zoo. Neil Anderson is the garden's CEO.
We manage the facility.
The city owns it and is paying for its repairs after Hurricane Ian. The gardens pay $1 each year in rent to the city.
We had 3.5 feet of storm surge through the entire garden, so we're getting close, to getting to where we really feel like it's, 100% back.
In Wednesday night city council meeting,
Everything that ranks over $5,000, the city should go.
the city is calling for transparency in the process, while the Gardens leaders give it a much-needed facelift after the storm. This includes the condition of animal enclosures, staying on top of termites and asbestos.
Raise that wire and then extend parking even further back and make it so that there's a logical path to get into the building.
Councilors like Jesse Pardon with District 2 are saying the Gardens' fate is dependent on making these changes and keeping the city in the know.
If we can get into agreement, there has to be checks and balances on not only the financials, but everything going on in that building. And it has to be that way. And if it's not, that's not going to work for us.
We wanted to do that, bring a plan together, and that would be, both on the same page for this.
In Bonita Springs, Domingo Murray, Fox 4.
When you look at various surveys, Florida usually falls somewhere in the middle of all of the states when it comes to child care costs, but that doesn't mean there isn't an issue here. In fact, some of the parents that we talked to say they really would like the legislature to do something in the upcoming session. LaShemba Patrick has 3 kids, 2 in elementary, 1 toddler.
And I'm currently expecting.
While that may sound overwhelming, what's really frustrating for this mother and teacher by trade, child care costs. Despite having a dual income with her husband, costs for her toddler alone are very expensive.
$625 to maybe $1350 a month, and I'm like, I'm not paying child care more than my mortgage.
And Patrick isn't alone. Floridians across the state find themselves in similar situations, struggling to secure a good balance of affordability and quality. In fact, a recent survey by the Children's Movement of Florida found more than 50% of parents would consider a job change for an employer with better child care options. About a third would take a pay cut.
And so what this is telling us is it's really important for parents.
Head of the advocacy nonprofit, Madeline Tekor, said her group is in serious talks with lawmakers to push reform in the upcoming January legislative session. One of the top goals, ease the threshold to access state early learning child care subsidies, like the School Readiness Program. It currently locks out eligibility for families making more than 150% of the federal poverty level.
Importantly, a 2-parent working household, if both of those are making minimum wage, is too wealthy to qualify for this help.
Another goal is to see approval of a bipartisan bill that died last session, enticing employers with tax incentives for offering employees child care assistance. Whether lawmakers will get either across the finish line is uncertain at this point.
Offer us affordable child care, because it's hard.
But Patrick is sure hopeful, saying quality care now will mean her kids will be at their best later. The regular session starts January 9th of next year, and while we don't have any of the big legislative priorities, we do know that in recent sessions, lawmakers were able to ease access to child health care subsidies, giving hope to child care advocates that they're next. That's the latest out here at the state capitol. I'm Forrest Saunders reporting.
We had a long search for the perfect location.
The Florida Museum of Photographic Arts is new to the neighborhood in Ebor City. It used to be in downtown Tampa, but recently relocated here to 7th Avenue.
We spent several months looking all over the Tampa Bay community and finally landed at what we think is the perfect location.
But now they and the rest of the community are grappling with a shooting that shocked the area, and it comes as even more development is planned nearby. Back in March, we shared with you a groundbreaking for the Gas Works project, located between Ebor and the Channel District, which officials say will include nearly 5,000 new residences, as well as office space and retail. The development is a joint effort between Kettler and Daryl Shaw. Following the weekend shooting, Shaw shared this statement saying, quote, "To be a healthy, vibrant neighborhood, Ebor City needs a greater balance of residences, restaurants, shops, and other businesses that add to the unique character of the Latin Quarter. But in the immediate future, hard conversations must take place that focus on curtailing an environment that fosters violence like Sunday's shootings." The city confirmed to me Mayor Castor had a previously scheduled meeting for Wednesday with some business leaders and developers to discuss Ebor.
And talking about the transition of Ebor City from entertainment and focusing, clearly we have to ensure that we have amenities down there, including entertainment, but focusing on the residential, office, retail, education, culture, those types of issues, as opposed to solely focusing on entertainment.
In the wake of the shooting, I wanted to know more about crime in the area. Tampa police sent me some stats saying the comparative data for total violent crimes, specifically in Ebor City, shows similar numbers for the same time periods in 2022 and 2023.
The businesses, I believe, are not the problem. I think the businesses are the solution.
Tom DeGeorge, the owner of Crowbar, says a lot of the businesses work in great detail to try to make their venues as safe as possible.
The issue with violence and gun violence in our country is not going away. So you got to do the work. You have to have a tight community, and you need the city to want to embrace those businesses and work with us to make things happen and make things safer.
Still, businesses tell me, despite everything, they know they're in the right place.
It's just plain safe. If you look on the streets, especially during the daytime, it's groups, it's families, it's kids, and we just really still see it as the perfect location.
In Ebor City, Mary O'Connell, ABC Action News.
And coming up, we have a story about a local tattoo business that had to relocate from Fort Myers Beach to Iona.
John Farrell made me feel like I was family.
It was like working with my brother.
I felt they were fighting for me. What more can you ask for in a lawyer that someone's fighting for you?
They're like family, you know, you can trust them.
Just felt like I was a person. They actually wanted to help me.
I'm Fox 4's Anvar Ruziev in Iona at the Indian Creek Plaza off San Carlos Boulevard. This is the new location for Paradise Tattoo, a shop which was previously on Fort Myers Beach for 11 years.
We were so excited about our future. Everything was going great. Shop's making great money. We're going to do these murals for downtown. Then the hurricane hit.
Hurricane Ian destroyed every shop in the Sea Grape Plaza, including Paradise Tattoo. Only a few items could be saved from the destruction. And with no help from FEMA or the Florida Small Business Administration, owner Dawn Webb wouldn't give up. She just needed to find a new place since the Sea Grape Plaza wasn't an option.
We went to 15 different plazas on all different levels. Some we just peeped in the window, some we called on. Some of them won't allow tattoo shops.
Indian Creek Plaza was the final choice for Webb. They moved in on August 15th and officially got the ink going again on Tuesday. The new location still has lots of work left for renovation, which Webb hopes will bring in more business down the line. A much needed hope after a year of turmoil and uncertainty.
Like, we stuck it out for over a year. And it's been a roller coaster, and we never gave up. So I believe that it's only up from here.
Be so many tourists and vacationers. We're going to be crazy busy. I just know it. It's going to be more than we can handle, probably.
Paradise Tattoo will be hosting a grand reopening event on November 11th to celebrate the success of just reaching this point. Reporting from Iona, Anvar Ruziev, Fox 4.
For your Thursday, a meeting about the future of just a couple of miles of road in Lee County, but it's a critical stretch. State Road 31 at Bay Shore. It's by the Boathouse Tiki Bar and Grill and over the Caloosahatchee. This video is from a gas leak a few months ago.